So we are just going straight into lesson 3 after lesson 2. We kind of intended to do maybe a little bit more than we did in lesson 2, but we stopped it there because I thought like there was significant improvement just from that setup change.
Totally.
And it made sense to really focus on that and kind of drill that in. So
Yes.
was really happy with that. I want to take that setup improvement, obviously still building on the backswing width that we were talking about, and then see where you think is the next logical step to work on this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So you're warmed up obviously since we're just doing this. So why don't you just hit one more? I'm gonna take a video.
Okay.
And then we will talk about the next piece. Let me just take it down the line to make sure you're still good from the width and depth standpoint, and then we'll add the next piece. Really, really good. So the great thing is your down the line still looks great. Love that. Get width, get depth, all that's good, okay? Setup still looks great too. You can see yourself really. Hands forward, upper body lean, hip bump, love that.
Looks good,
Okay, looks great. You turn, really, really good.
Nice.
But we also mentioned, like your hip likes to leave that line quite a bit, right?
That's right.
So the next thing is actually to help you load into your right side better.
Okay, so we're talking a little bit about kind of weight transfer, but also we're talking about
Turning into the line rather than turning into the target.
so when I turn into the target, if anything, I'm tilting this way.
Exactly, exactly. So put the club across your shoulders, Matt.
This way.
Yep. So imagine there's a line beside your right hip, right? We know when you turn, your butt moves towards the target. So do your old turn. You can see from the face-on view, his hip leaves my hand because his butt goes towards the target.
Yes.
So reset. So this time, turn into my hand. Good. Turn more. Good. You feel that?
Yes.
So do that one more time on your own. Turn. Good. Hold it. Left shoulder a little higher. Yeah, you're adding excessive tilt to it.
Way.
You're adding excessive tilt. Yes.
Okay, so I'm picturing this way.
So do your setup again. So even when you do this, I still want the slight upper body lean away. And there we go. Yes. So now feel like you turn level as you turn into that line. Turn level. Do not drop your left shoulder. Good. There we go, Matt. Really, do you feel more pressure into your right foot now?
I do, yeah.
Good. So that's what you need to do, okay?
Gotcha.
So one thing that I'm glad you did is most people, they've been told to keep the left shoulder down.
Oh, so
But you and along with a lot of people actually excessively dip their shoulder.
This.
Correct. But you don't need to do that because when we set up, so from the down the line view, you're already bent over at setup, right?
Yes.
You got to turn level to your inclination.
Not adding inclination.
Correct. So if I put my hand here, don't touch my hand.
Okay.
Yep. So just turn. Good. You feel that? So you're much more, so your left shoulder is still lower.
Yeah.
But you're like there.
With you.
You're adding too much inclination. You're adding unnecessary inclination.
If you add a bunch of inclination in the downswing, you tend to
Correct. Because you're tilting too much, then you have to untilt.
Makes sense.
Or you tilt the other way.
The opposite reaction.
Correct.
Okay.
So you have to feel like you turn level, okay?
Turn level.
Yep.
All right, let me try a little rehearsal here.
Yep. So do the setup, run through the setup. Perfect. So turn level as you load into the inside right foot, inside right heel. We want to load into the inside right heel, but still be in the inside right foot. Oh, dude, love that. That looks way different.
Better, yeah?
Love it. All right, let's try with the ball this time.
Okay.
Love that. Good first try. Really good first try. Different?
The backswing definitely felt a lot different. I felt a little bit more onto my right side.
Yeah, so watch this.
Okay.
So you see how we draw a line there, right?
Yes.
We draw a line. Doesn't leave that line.
So in terms of like if I'm practicing this, do you recommend obviously checklist with the setup and then one nice rehearsal?
Yep.
And then hit a shot?
Yeah, I like
again?
one nice rehearsal before you hit. I don't want you doing more than one. I see a lot of people at the range, you do like 5, 6.
Right.
It just wastes too much time, wastes too much effort.
Yeah.
And it just becomes mindless at that point. So you're just wasting energy.
So one and then go.
Yeah, one very focused one and that's it.
I like it. Okay. Hands ahead. Back a bit.
Yep.
Hips forward.
Perfect, dude.
Okay.
Love that. I love that.
That one felt really good.
And you feel more loaded in your right foot?
I felt pressure go into this foot,
Good.
whereas before, to be honest with you, I would say I either felt no pressure or just felt like 50-50.
Totally.
One thing I was going to ask you, I would assume it's and I was guilty of this with my left-handed swing. It must be a bit of a bad habit at times when making this setup correction for people to give it one of these.
Yeah, it's not the head.
It's not your head.
Correct, it's not the head.
Think of it as, I'm trying to think of it as my, like
Your sternum, maybe. Yeah, sternum,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So turn and load into the inside right foot, inside right heel, and hold it there. So that's really good. And just so we're all on the same page here in the face-on V, we want to load into the heel side, but still want to make sure the entire foot's on the ground, right? Some people cheat it, so like lift your balls and toes up a bit. You see that?
Yeah.
Some people cheat it by saying, oh, I'm in the heels, I'm going to lift up my toes. But we still want the entire edge of the foot to be gripping the ground.
In my left-handed swing, that peaks. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you definitely do that in your left-handed
and I need
swing.
to work on this probably, I mean, we can do a lesson another time, but my left-handed swing, I tend to do this. People will see that. Probably similar type of thing I need to work on is loading the foot properly.
Yes.
Because I do transfer, but I transfer this way.
Yes. Yeah, you go to the outside of your left foot.
Which is no
outside
good.
of your left heel.
And then you basically have no, then you can't push into follow through.
Correct. Love that, love that. All right, let's hit the next one. Love that one. Good, really, really good. And again, we don't mind the chunks right now.
Yeah.
The movement was super clean there. This is really crucial now, you know, as you start loading the trail side more.
Yeah.
Because as you start going into downswing stuff, you better make sure you're loaded on the trail side rather than being 50-50.
Because otherwise, yeah, then it's probably partially why I was, you know, I'm sort of here. And I mean, obviously I don't play golf right-handed very often, but I'm always kind of like this.
Yes, yes.
Because I've never really been able to push properly.
Yeah, so the
into
more
the
you are
side.
on the lead side, the more you're gonna push away.
Yeah.
If I'm on the trail side, I'm gonna push away from the trail side.
So further down the line, obviously, then we'll start to work on that motion. But
yeah,
it is interesting. I can see why my body language in the follow-through is very kind of like this.
Absolutely,
Because I've never been in a position to actually push.
To push through it, exactly.
But I've got to get this down before we ever go down that road.
Yes. Really good, dude.
That felt really good.
That sounded really good too. Really, really good.
Contact was good.
Wow,
Yeah,
165.
you're right about the club speed thing.
86 again, that's cool.
I'm not trying harder today and the lesson prior, but obviously the better movement patterns and setup are allowing me to produce more speed naturally, but not with force.
Yes, what's good sequencing.
Good sequencing.
Because honestly, like when I look at it, it looks like super low effort.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm trying, as we kind of were joking about in the first session we did right-handed, the only effort I'm feeling is really just in challenging my width to get out more.
Challenging the stretch.
I feel the stretch there. And obviously I feel a bit of effort trying to make this motion a little bit cleaner.
Yes.
But I don't feel like I'm jamming on the ball.
Totally, yeah, totally. Good. Really good there,
Saved the best one for last.
I love it.
That's really interesting.
I like that a lot. Yeah, like 2 in a row 165 is like
It's
no
really
joke.
quite cool. Yeah, no, it's really cool to see
86, 116.
like averaging 86 and 115 plus in ball speed.
Totally.
Or like on the better ones without the effort. I think it's starting to clarify for me what I've always heard is like people want to chase speed, but I remember you always saying to me like, well, you can't start doing that until all these fundamentals are in place, because then it just becomes 100% effort or like hand speed. In my left-handed swing, like my swing years ago has been a mess. As you remember before we ever did a lesson?
Yes.
I could create speed, but it was mostly just me like whipping it with my hands.
And it wasn't playable. It wasn't playable too.
No, one of every 4 shots I had no idea where it was going to go.
Totally.
And the other 2 were probably like barely in play and then 1 good. So the consistency factor, and I can see like generating speed the proper way, it's quite an easy way to play golf versus like the other options.
Yeah, like for you to like, I know I'm always like, oh, don't worry about the results.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're not chasing numbers. The numbers will come. It's just, it still happened numbers came a little faster for you today than maybe for someone else who's watching and practicing. But the numbers will come as long as you stick to the process and, you stick to what's more important at the stage is structure and good movements, the result will come.
Question for you quickly, man. So if I were to go practice this, am I almost better off I mean, someone may be restricted to an indoor setting. Are you almost better off doing some practice that you don't actually know what the result is?
Like honestly, like early on, especially at this level, I'd rather than just hit into a net.
So in your basement, if you had like, you got a net return kind of thing.
Exactly.
Film yourself, obviously, to look at the movement and practice it, but it's almost not a downside to not have ball flight monitoring
Totally.
in the short term.
Yeah, and it's honestly like even for, I'm not sure what it's like in other places, but even here in Toronto, there's some indoor places where you just hit into a net.
Totally.
You don't get feedback. It's cheaper. You save money.
Yeah.
You just gotta hit balls somewhere. The only feedback you guys need right now is just video.
Yeah.
You bring your phone. You just get a cheap tripod. You put the phone down at these angles you're seeing our lessons at.
Yeah. So nice and face on and nice
Exactly.
and this.
Yeah. It just literally you're gonna judge your practices, your quality of practice on how your movement's changing.
Right.
Not on the strikes, not on the shot quality. Shot quality is a bonus.
Yeah, and it will come later down the road.
Exactly.
That will be a focus, maybe in a few months from now.
Exactly. And the faster and the sooner you guys get this dialed in without much thinking, the sooner you guys can focus on the results.
Yeah,
but right now
exactly.
we got to focus on the movement.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good first 3 lessons.
Yeah, really good.
Really happy with how this is going. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I mean, I'm learning a lot. Hopefully it's coming through that you guys are getting some tips that you can apply to your own swing. I'll probably give it another week, hit some balls, work on these things, and then Larry and I will be back at it probably in a week or 2.
Yeah, totally.
And we'll do some more right-hand stuff and some more lessons.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.